Being in the luckiest 10% of the world with health, house, food, power, water, and some funds, and being in Australia, I was recently talking to people and friends from around the world. A recurring theme we talked about was that at a time like this, the sharing of skills and expertise was of help. How can I help? What can I do? My approach is to try and help organizations of all types and sizes by sharing skills and expertise that I hope are of value because this is how we can help people. This sharing of skills and expertise may be obvious to some and is probably not lightweight material, but please feel free to share and use. Have fun doing good, and please stay happy and healthy. In a previous session, we talked about the role of clear, consistent, and persistent communication. The link is in the comments. It is the leadership, the enablement, the facilitation, and communication that forms the emotional bond required in these communications. Whether communicating business change, communicating in the time of COVID-19, or working in the politically divided times we find ourselves, it is the engagement and the communication that matters. Caring and credible communication that influences the middle view rather than the extremes is how change is achieved, and this is discussed further here. When engaging a contrary audience, approaches for gaining the attention of the unengaged, the engagement of those who seek to spread false information, countering those who seek to sow confusion, and managing misinformation campaigns use similar principles, but this is not covered in detail in this session. Having one extreme telling the other extreme that their view is wrong or that they should change their view is often unproductive. All this does is to entrench the extremes. Either extreme lacks credibility with each other, and an extreme draws support and reinforcement from those around them. The early adopters, those that share a view they are seeking others to adopt, need to share expertise and guidance so that the middle, who can be convinced, can respond. The early adopters need to welcome people who have changed their views. The early adopters empower those to make changes and create a sense of pride and ownership. To change minds, leadership is needed. Communication needs to avoid the sense of isolation and alienation of those with a different view who are still to be convinced. While either extreme often makes the most noise and is reinforcing to those with the same view, it is by convincing those in the middle to move that change is achieved. It is those in the middle that can influence and reshape the extremes. When the communication is credible and shows caring, the middle influences the extremes. When the middle feels isolated or alienated, the extremes influence the middle. By explaining why, the impacts, what they can do so that they feel empowered, and where they can get help, the middle can be moved. Those with a contrary view can be influenced to feel engaged and by becoming part of the solution. A sense of isolation and alienation reinforces views and can increase resistance. Those with a contrary view often respond with emotions, and these emotions can increase the strength of a view. Communication that enables an ability to change a view whilst maintaining their standing beliefs and values, i.e., rationalization, is often effective. A stimulus for change, whether incremental through peer pressure or via rapid change in their environment, can also help bring agreement and revised positions. The communication needs to form an emotional bond for it to revise a view or strengthen an existing view. The emotional bond forms given the need, the opportunity, the ability to rationalize, and the role of influencers and peers. The message needs to be credible, consistent, persistent, memorable, and engaging, but above all, show care and caring. The message explains the issue, its importance, what you need to do so that you do not feel overwhelmed or useless, and where to get help and support. The message is believable when the source is credible and the interests and values are aligned. Those of one political persuasion get reinforcement of their views from those of similar views, similar interests and values around them, leading to an intensification of their view. Those of an opposing view are less credible and believable because the values and interests are seen as contrary and the message is seen to be alienating and isolating. Messages that repeatedly tell you that what you think and believe is wrong, or that you are less because of your view, or you are seen as uncaring because of your view, are counterproductive. A message of care and empathy is engaging. People often respond emotionally and make decisions based on emotions. Trying to use facts to change an emotional decision is often ineffective. The more the facts tell someone they are wrong, the more the emotions come into the mix. Messaging and communication needs that emotional bond with the facts to strengthen the emotional bond. Thank you for your time. Hope you enjoyed this session and found it of value. This session can be used beyond COVID-19 decision making. Please help others by sharing the link. Looking forward to your comments and the sharing of other skills and expertise. Don't forget to subscribe so that we can help you, and please help others to help themselves.